Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your UGC NET Paper 1 educator. In this new YouTube video, the last lab, the 30-day program that we have for you, we will be moving forward with the concepts and the PYQs which are related to the higher educational sphere, right? So there is this different unit that we have altogether of higher education, which is unit 10th, right? But if you would have been following up with the videos that we previously have done, you would have noticed that how through the usage of PYQs, we are moving forward by revising the concepts, right? So the whole point of this program is for your all revision, which the students tend not to do when it comes to revising for such a competitive examination. So for you all to help ace your examination, which is the UGC NET 2023 examination, this program has been brought up for you. So the first question, without wasting any time, that I have for you is a statement based question. So statement 1 says universities of Nalanda, Takshila and Vikramshila of ancient India are now all located in the Indian territory. Statement 2 says the entrance test of its own kind was prevalent in the ancient seats of learning of India. So basically you are supposed to read these statements and then answer from the options given below. You can pause your screens whenever a question pops up so that you can read the question in its entirety and then answer accordingly. The answer to this question is option D, which says that statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Why does why does it say that? Right? Let's just see. The statement D was, that first statement was incorrect. Why? Because of the fact that not all the universities of ancient India are now located in the Indian territory. So if you are making notes, students, if you are jotting down certain points while watching these videos, I highly recommend you all, because even from the ancient universities they ask the questions that what was declared the UNESCO heritage site, where is this university, this ancient Indian university located. So you all should be knowing these things. Correct? So in ancient India was the pride hub of education. So every person, even from the scholars from various areas, used to come here. The Chinese scholars, even for that matter, used to come here in India for the study purposes, for the higher education purposes. So as I tell you that this is a highly recommended part on your end, that universities like Nalanda, write down where it is currently situated. Vikramshila is also in Bihar. Takshila is in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. So if you see that where were the ancient universities located, and are they located in current times in the Indian territory? No, not all of them, because after the partition the areas were divided and certain Indian ancient universities have gone to Pakistan, out of one which we have as the example of Takshila. Were centers of education from students were different from different parts of the world they visited to get education in subjects like philosophy, medicine, arithmetic, logic, grammar, rhetoric, etc., so on and so forth. And if you would have seen the previous videos, I told that in the Vedic education times, the education was more and more related to the all-round development of a student. Correct? The admission procedure in these universities was very tough. Hence, that brings us to, the statement what? The statement 2, which was correct. So there, yes, there was a rigorous procedure as far as the entrance test was concerned when it came to these kind of ancient universities in India. So the universities admission criteria or the procedure or the entrance test, it used to be tough. Students had to clear the entrance examination. So the concept of entrance examination, which we again think is really new to our, and our perceptions, it is not, because even in the ancient or the Vedic times, from the 7th century or the 5th century BC, this thing was still prevalent. The students had to give certain kind of, entrance test to get enrolled in a course in the university. Hence, only meritorious students were able to get admission. So the best of them used to come. So according to the fact, statement 1 is incorrect, which said that all the universities are currently situated in the Indian territory. That is wrong. And statement 2 is correct, which says that yes, there was a rigorous procedure for the entrance test, right? Even in the ancient universities. The next question is again a statement based question, where statement 1 says modern universities in India were established first during the colonial period. Statement 2, on the other hand, says the British government was genuinely interested in expanding the institutions of higher education in India. Again, I tell you that pause your videos to know what the answer is and what do you think the answer would be. The answer to this question is option C, which says that statement 1 is correct while statement 2 is incorrect. Why do we say that statement 2 is incorrect? We will be reading that again from the explanation further because I have put that in for you in the slides. But even if you think, right, if we think about the first modern universities statement, yes, in the colonial period, many universities have been established. If we talk about the University of Calcutta, Banaras, Bombay, etc., and Madras, these universities were established when? During the British times, during the colonial era, right? During the British colonial period, most of the oldest universities were established. The Britishers established 2 schools in India. What were they? A madrasa in Calcutta, which was for the Muslim education, correct? And a Sanskrit school in Varanasi, which of course was for the spread of Sanskritism. And if we talk about the Brahminical sphere of education, correct? After that, many schools, colleges and universities were established in the country to increase the awareness of the people. All right, so the statement 1 hence is correct for that matter. 3 of the oldest universities, the Senate of Serampore College, the University of Calcutta, and the University of Mumbai or Bombay as it was called in that very time, were established during the British rule. So there were many universities which were established. The main 3 of them were the University of Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. Correct? Now coming to statement 2, why do we think it is incorrect? The British government was genuinely interested. No, it wasn't genuinely interested because of the fact that they wanted to teach the Indian masses so that the burden of the East India Company gets lessened. Right? The more the Indian officers will try to get enrolled in the East India Company, right? The more, they will be telling the other people to read English, to get educated in the English sphere. So just for the spread of English, they were doing or they were spreading education. There were also Christian missionaries who used to there for the spread of Christianity and if we talk about English as well, right? So English, even like in today's time, it is a status symbol for some people. Right, as in speaking in English would be something that a person whosoever is able to speak in English is considered to be educated, which should not be the case, right? So this thing even in the mindset of people which was penetrated by the Britishers. So they were not really genuinely interested in expanding the higher education system in India, but they were more concerned with expanding the British East India Company or the British Empire per se. Correct? The company wanted some educated Indians who could assist them in the administration of the land. Right? So Indian in blood and color, but British in taste. Correct? This is Lord Macaulay's 1835 minute, which states this very thing, that we want a class of Indians who are Indian by blood and color, who look like Indians, but English by taste. But they have their habits, their etiquettes, their way of living entirely based on the English sphere, English parts. Correct? So that was what their mission was. And if you would have read the history somewhere or the other in your schools as well of the colonial times, you would have seen that how they used to think of the Indians as the barbaric ones, right? Who are the uncivilized race, even for that matter, Africa. They used to think of them that this race is barbaric and we are the ones who can, bring forth the civic society, the civic or the civil society, the ideal society which says that yes, this is how you're supposed to behave. So to have those, uncivilized people, they should be civilized. The British thought that it was their mission to do so, and they keep on, even in today's time, they keep on justifying this very thing, this colonialism with this very part. Correct? So this was not the genuine interest that was there. Also, they wanted to understand the local customs and the laws well. What do we mean here? We mean that they wanted to know the Indianness, to know the Indian culture, the heritage, etc. so deeply that they will be able to affect the minds of people. They'll be knowing that yes, this is how the Indians think and this is where we are supposed to, be the ones where we should be hitting them. Correct? Not literally, but quite metaphorically. That yes, this is their weak point, we are going to hit this one. So that for this purpose, Warren Hastings established the Calcutta Madrasa in 1781. The madrasa was there for the teaching of Muslim law because they wanted to know the Muslim law as well. And a Sanskrit college started in Varanasi in 1791 by Jonathan Duncan for the study of Hindu philosophy and law, so that they can know the ways of the living of the Indians and then spread their education, their thoughts, their processes, which they thought were the ones which were civilized. Correct? So that's why statement 1 is correct, that yes, most of the universities were established during the British colonial period. But statement 2, which said that it was purely and entirely and genuinely because of the interest that the British had for the higher education, the spread of higher education. No, it wasn't that. There were many other political reasons as well for that. Correct? That's why statement 2 is incorrect. Then we have the next question. Which among the following is not the responsibility of the UGC? And I think that you all know this very question because of the fact that in the previous videos, we have done certain responsibilities and most of them were covered if you would have seen the previous videos of the last lab program. The answer to this question is option B. To maintain discipline in campuses of institutions in higher education. This is not the responsibility of UGC, but this is the responsibility of the individual higher educational institution. Apart from that, yes, the quality, it should be regulated, correct? To fund research projects, that is the responsibility of UGC. To suggest model curriculum for the universities, that is also that what should be taught in what subject, what should be taught in what course, that is the responsibility of the UGC, but not to maintain the discipline in the institutions of higher education. So UGC became a statutory body in what? In the year 1956. Here we have. And is charged with the coordination, determination and maintenance of standards of higher education. Correct? Its responsibilities are promoting and coordinating university education, because universities grants commission and there are certain colleges even under the universities, right? For instance, in Punjab universities, there are multiple colleges in Chandigarh which are affiliated to Punjab University. Correct? So why are they? Because the University Grants Act has been passed by them. Determining and maintaining standards of teaching, examination and research. Hence, if we talk about funding of research as well. Framing regulations on minimum standards of education, that how much a student is supposed to, learn from a course when it is taught in the class. Monitoring developments in the field of collegiate and university education. Disbursing, that is granting grants, that is the money to the universities and colleges which is there, right, for any purpose which is related to research or for the teaching or the educational purpose. So UGC is the one who should be funding these universities, serving as a vital link between the union and state governments and institutions of higher learning, because there are multiple acts on the state level as well. So state, union, etc., they should be the ones which should be in a close contact with one another through the link, and UGC is the one which maintains that link. Advising the central and state governments on the measures necessary for the improvement of university education. So anything which can be done to improvise the university education is also one of the aims which comes under the UGC paradigm. That's why maintaining discipline is nowhere in the objectives, and these objectives have been taken up from the official website. So of course this is a thing that these things which have been officially declared by the UGC, that these are the objectives, these objectives do not contain anything which is related to maintaining the discipline in the campuses. Correct? So this question is answered here. Then we have match list 1 with list 2. List 1 says the organizations, and list 2 are the disciplinary domains to where they are associated with. Correct? So pause your screens and try to figure out what the answer would be. The answer to this question is option D. Let's just see what do we have in D. A to 2, B to 3, C to 4 and D to 1. So again, before even moving on to the explanation, bring out your pen, paper, notebook, etc. and try to jot these pointers down here, because these concepts are really important. First we have ICSSR. ICSSR is related with the social sciences. Now, if you would be knowing the full form of this abbreviation, which I put on emphasis in every video of mine, that abbreviations, if even you know the full forms, you will know, you will be able to crack the answer. So if we see ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research, and in the question we matched it with what? The social sciences only, correct? So it was established in the year 1969 by the government of India to promote research in the field of social sciences in the country, that is in India. Hence, it is Indian Council for the Social Sciences Research. So don't write the complete lines. You are supposed to make notes like ICSSR, correct? Established. This is just my way of making notes that I am telling you, might not work for everyone, right? And then for social sciences, and of course you are supposed to write down the full form, that is Indian Council for Social Science Research. So rather than writing the complete point, in these 3 points we have covered the entire thing, that what is the full form, when was it established, what is it for, the objective, correct? Coming or moving to the next thing, Department of Science and Technology, that is DST, established in May 1971 with the objective of promoting new areas of science and technology and playing the role of a nodal department for organizing, coordinating and promoting science and tech activities in the country. So as the name suggests, Department of Science and Technology, DST, it is supposed to be there when it comes to science and technological advancement parts, correct? Then we have Indian Council for Medical Research. Again, writing down the full form will make you all aware that what that research council is for. Indian Council for Medical Research, headquarters in Delhi, for formulation, coordination and promotion of biomedical research, right? So in 1911, the government of India set up the Indian Research Fund Association, another fact that is there, with the specific objective of sponsoring and coordinating medical research in the country. After independence, it was designated the Indian Council of Medical Research in 1949. So after independence, this is there, correct? AI here does not mean artificial intelligence, it just means after independence, with a considerably expanded scope of function. So first of all, funding association was the Indian Research Fund Association after independence, which was replaced by ICMR only, correct? Then we have Indian Council for Philosophical Research, ICPR, established in 1977 under the Department of Higher Education and Ministry of Human Resource Development. So Ministry of Human Resource Development now is known as MOE, that is Ministry of Education, correct? Under the Societies Registration Act 1860. However, the council formally became active in July 1981. So that's why we matched it correctly. The social sciences, right? If we talk about the medical sciences, science and tech, and if we talk about the philosophical research part, correct? And I hope you all have answered it correctly. Then we have the next question. The report of which of the following educational commission carries the subtitle Education for National Development? So if you would have done, different commissions which are really important from the examination point of view, if we talk about the UGC NET examination, there are multiple commissions, Kothari Commission, Mudaliar Commission, Bhaktvatsalam Committee, right? These all committees and commissions are really important, the pre-independence or the post-independence commissions, correct? So you all are supposed to memorize them and their objectives, what was the program that they brought. So I hope you will be able to answer this question as well. The answer to this question is option D, that is Kothari Commission, which means the Kothari Commission carried the subtitle Education for National Development. Let's just read from here. 1964 to 66 was the date when this commission was there. Most popularly known as the Kothari Commission on Secondary Education. So the focus, as you see here, is secondary education, set up by the government of India on 14th July 1964. So you need not memorize the dates exactly, but yes, for the factual part, you can memorize the, for instance, they can ask you in the chronological, arrange the things in the chronological sense. How are you going to do that? If you would have just memorized the years, right? Because it is humanly impossible for a person to memorize all the dates, correct? So you are supposed to at least memorize the years, but yes, again, it is UGC, it can come up with anything, but the most important thing that we are supposed to memorize it, that yes, if we can arrange them chronologically. To evaluate the educational system in India, Daulat Singh Kothari. Then why is it named Kothari? Because Daulat Singh Kothari was the chairman of this very commission, right? Then the chairman of UGC. The aim was to survey all aspects of the educational system at all levels and give suggestions to help the education system to progress at all levels, with secondary education given the most importance. The Kothari Commission submitted its report in 1966 under the subtitle of Education for National Development. So I hope this makes things clear for you, even if you have made your own notes which are related to certain commissions. If there's a question that I ask, try to enter these things which are important, enter these points which are important, which you would have missed at the first place. The unique feature of the commission was its conviction that education is the most powerful instrument of national development. Hence, this subtitle, Education for National Development. The more the people or the students in the country will be developed, in the mindset or through the educational framework, the more the country will develop on a national scale. Correct? Then we have which of the following areas of liberal education at the higher level in the feudal society of Europe. So back in the times, in the Europe times, were classified under the quadrivium. Quadrivium, right? So answer the question correctly. The answer to this question is option C. That is C, D and E only. C, D and E only. That is arithmetic, music and astronomy. Quadrivium means the four subjects. So what do we mean first of all by quadrilateral? That which has four sides. So again, if we talk about the quadrivium, it is something which is related to the four subjects of arts, that is arithmetic, geometry, astronomy and music. So in the question paper we had arithmetic, music, astronomy, right, and geometry was not there, correct? This quadrivium system is followed by a trivium. So trivium, right, for instance, trivium is 3. So 3 subjects were taught in, the trivium sphere, but in quadrivium 4 subjects were taught. So this would have been the question. So in the trivium, grammar, logic and rhetoric was taught. Quadrivium is considered the foundation of the study of philosophy and theology. So of course, if you are appearing for paper 1, it does not mean that the subject specificities are there. You all should be knowing the general sphere, because this is a paper which is general for all, right? So for philosophy and theology, quadrivium was such a field where the students need to, excel. It is the upper division of medieval education in liberal arts. The fourth subject, arithmetic, numbers, right? If we talk about geometry, numbers in space. Astronomy, numbers in space and time, and music, number in time, how the music, music is played and at what time, correct? The trivium comes first and is the art of the world. So the trivium is one thing and then we reach out to quadrivium, correct? Students in liberal arts traditionally move towards the quadrivium, which is arts of number of quantity. So from art of the world, that is the philosophy, if we talk about the trivium, we move to what? Art of number or quantity. Hence the subjects, if we talk about here, arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, music, they all are related to numbers in the quantitative terms. If we talk about in the terms of times, etc., right? Even in the case of space, even in the abstract form, the numbers are there existing any time and every time. Hence this thing is related to the quadrivium, correct? The next question is, the National Program for Technology Enhanced Learning, NPTEL, was initiated by the MHRD in 2003 to enhance the quality of what? You can pause the screens here. To enhance the quality of C, that is the engineering education. So this thing had been asked by me previously in one of the videos, and students did comment down on the video that what do we have the full form of NPTEL as, even if we consider the MOE. So I'm really liking that you all are participating in the comment section by even answering the questions that are generally asked or put up to you all. Correct? Was initiated by MHRD in 2003. National Program for Technological Education or Technological Enhanced Learning initiated by MHRD. Yes, that's true. But for the engineering education part. Initiative by 7 Indian Institutes of Technology, which means 7 IITs have been there to collaboratively work on this very platform of NPTEL to deliver lectures which are related to the engineering education. Correct? So IIT Bombay, Delhi, Guwahati, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras and Roorkee, all the 7 IITs have been there to collaboratively work, as I told you, and the Indian institutions of science as well. So IITs and IISCs. So basically it is a joint initiative taken up by both the IITs and IISCs to deliver lectures, correct? But for what? For the engineering education. 5 engineering branches were there: civil, computer science, electrical, electronics, communication, mechanical engineering, and core science programs taken into consideration for the undergraduate program in India. So there were several fields which were divided, if we talk about the engineering fields, which were further subdivided, right? And these things were being taken care of by the NPTEL, correct? The model curriculum for the content was suggested by AICTE, which is the umbrella term, which is the umbrella, unit which deals with the technical education sphere, correct? And under those things, IITs are suggested that what are the things that we need to bring forward, correct? And the syllabi of major affiliating universities in India. So basically, AICTE is the one which designs the syllabi and the curriculum, correct? The basic objective of science and engineering education in India is to devise and guide reforms. So basically to make any changes that will transform India into strong and vibrant, knowledgeable or knowledge economy. So if we talk about, we are, moving forward in pace if we talk about the normal subjects in humanities. But what about the research and development? Those research and development projects are being taken up by the IITs and IISCs to move forward with the race that we have if we want to be the developed country, right? If we talk about, because since still in the times we are in the phase of a developing country, right? So basically to enhance the quality of education and letting it also increase the national development on a global sphere as well, these things have been done, right? So to bring forward the scientists or the technologists which are there, related to the field of science and tech, these things have been, and to promote that yes, you all can do research and development. 4 basic projects of the NPTEL, right? The objectives or the focus of NPTEL project are higher education, right? So anything related to higher education which is related again to the scientific sphere, professional education, distance education, continuous and open learning, roughly in that order of preference, right? So basically this program is implemented by NPC, headed by Joint Secretary of Higher Education, right, MHRD, and the Program and Implementation Committee, that is PIC, headed by Professor MS Anand, Director IIT Madras and Professor in Chemical Engineering. So basically if we talk about the NPTEL in its entirety, it is first of all related to science and scientific education, right? Anything related to science, and then it is being headed by different bodies, but yes, IITs and IISCs are jointly committing themselves to deliver something, some research, some projects, some lectures, etc., which are related to the field of science. Next question is, Takshila, an ancient center for higher learning in India, was declared a heritage site by UNESCO. So even in the beginning of the video that I told you that yes, they do ask questions, and here is the reference, here is the proof that yes, they do ask questions. When was this thing declared as a heritage site? So answer this question please. The answer to this question is option A, that is 1980. Takshila was noted center of learning including religious teachings of Buddhism, right? So basically even if we talk about Zhuangzang, right, he was one such philosopher who came from China to get the teachings of the Buddhist, right? If we talk about Takshila again, It continued to attract students from around the world until its destruction in the 5th century CE, because Mahmud Ghazni was the one who entered and brought this very thing forth, and he destroyed it. This biggest educational center which was there in the ancient India, right after his invasion. It was known for its higher education, and the curriculum comprised the study of ancient scriptures, law, medicine, astronomy, so on and so forth. So anything which was there was there. Among its noted pupils were the legendary Indian grammarian Panini. So if you all know which was the book which was written by Panini, right, the Indian grammarian, correct? Comment down below and let me know that what book was there, correct? And I will reply if there have been, there are right answers, or if even if there are no, I will try to answer and make you all correct. So the purpose of these videos are not to put anyone down, but yes, the source to us, these are the source for us all to learn, collaborate and excel in the net examination, correct? So comment down below if you know, right? So again, if the live chat works, right, if this thing works, some of students might be watching this later on, some of you will be watching it right away. So now you all know the answer, that what book was written. It was Panini's Ashtadhyayi, correct? Authored one of the greatest work on grammar called Ashtadhyayi. So this thing was genuinely asked generally by me because of the fact that I want you all to participate interactively and answer that yes, you do know the answer to these questions. Even Jivak, one of the most renowned physicians in ancient India, he was also the one who studied in Takshila. Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, right, who wrote what? The Arthashastra, right? He also was the one who studied here, correct? Takshila was an ancient Indian city which is now in the northern western Pakistan, where we in the previous slides have done, where it is located in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. It is an important archaeological site and UNESCO declared it to be a World Heritage Site in 1980, hence 1980 is the right answer. And archaeologist Alexander Cunningham discovered its ruins in the mid-19th century, and then told everyone that yes, this was an ancient university which was being there prominent in the centuries in the ancient education, correct? Now again, list 1 with list 2 you are supposed to match. So this, as you all can see, the content was not fit in one screen or one slide. You all can pause your videos, read it, and then I'll move it again to the next slide so you all can read or by matching the options. Correct? The answer to this question is option B, which says that A is to 2 and B is to 1. And C is to 4 and D is to 3. Correct? This is the option that we have as correct. Let us just read it from here only, because much explanation is given here in the concerns at the levels that the institutions have. Personal level. So on a personal level, how the academic freedom is there? How much is the academic freedom there if we talk about concerns related to the personal level? Standard of behavior and ethics we adopt and develop for ourselves which are related to us. So that kind of personal development, personal level is the one which in which we have the academic freedom to adopt what is given to us and change it and develop things for us which are provided to us. Then we have the professional level in the institutional sphere. Democratic functioning in the higher education system and believing each individual is worthy of attention, giving attention to every student, right, every learner, even from the institutional's background. If we see as the hierarchical order, even the vice chancellor, and if we talk about different bodies, the HODs, etc., paying attention to their teachers as well, thinking that yes, they do also need the attention. And if we talk about the students, the teachers giving the students the attention, that is on the professional level, that is what should be taken care of. Institutional level, exercising personal and professional values within the concept of higher education institution, and yes, no biasness should be there again, right? Hence it should be institutional power which should be there conducted, right? Academic freedom on the institutional level is exercising personal and professional values. Anything which you hold close to, the values that you hold close to, which are in, which are collaboratively, you are the one who are, using these powers, which are collaboratively used by the institutional head, right, which are professional as well as personal. Correct? So those are the ones which are related to the institutional level of academic freedom. Societal level of academic freedom, values that influence and cushion the operation of higher education on a societal level. What does it lead to? Is the student becoming someone who is knowledgeable, and is he contributing to the society, right? And the societal freedom comes hereforth. Correct? Then we have which of the following areas of liberal education again. If we talk about the feudal society of Europe, classified under the trivium. So I hope now you all will be able to answer this, because of the fact that we have done quadrivium, and in quadrivium I told you trivium. So this will make sure that if you paid attention in the previous slides. The answer to this question is option C, that says C, D and E only. That is C, D and E. Grammar, logic and rhetoric. Correct? There were 7 systems in liberal arts, if we talk about in the previous slides as well, right? These are known as trivium and quadrivium respectively, hence collaborating them with 3, that is for the trivium, right? And quadrivium 4 equals to what? 7. So 7 systems of education were there. Trivium is the lower division that is there of the liberal arts system. So if we talk about the hierarchical part, trivium comes under, right? If we talk about here, let me just write it here. If we talk about the whole, anything which holds power is the quadrivium, because it is the major chunk, and then we have trivium. So 4 plus 3 again here, that is 7. Trivium is a Latin word which means trivia, that means the place where the 3 roads meet, hence we talk about the trivium, that is 3. Trivium refers to grammar, logic and rhetoric, which we have already marked as the correct answer in the previous slide. Traditional academic program in the Western education, if we talk about the modern feudal, in the medieval, feudal society which was there, that covers 4 areas like natural sciences, social sciences, arts and humanities. Correct? So these 4 fields were there, which were being taught in what form? In the grammar, logic and rhetoric form. Next question that I have for you is given below are 2 statements. Number 1 statement says universities are established by the central or state act under 2F of the UGC Act 1956. So yes, they do ask certain important questions which are related to the minute details. So the concepts which we are bringing forth for you will be able to help you ace the examination, and of course if you would have missed anything you can jot it down. Statement 2 says deemed to be universities is declared by a notification of the central government on the advice of UGC under section 3 of the UGC Act 1956 again. Pause your screens and try to answer the question, and yes, you all can be wrong in this question, but that is why we are here to learn only, correct? The answer to this question is option A, which says that both these statements are true. Statement 1 we have already read. The UGC had notified regulations for recognition of colleges under section 2F of the UGC Act. That's why from the central or the state act under 2F section of the Act 1956, universities and colleges are affiliated, right, or regulated or recognized. The colleges are brought under the purview of UGC in terms of these regulations as and when the proposals are received from the colleges. So as the colleges want to get themselves established or recognized by the UGC, they are the ones who will be the ones coming under what? The state or the government act, depending on how they are, applying for, right? And they are found, if they are found fit for inclusion as per the provisions contained in the regulations, they are given the, recognition, right, from the UGC. Apart from the inclusion of colleges under section 2F, the UGC includes the colleges under section 12B of its act in terms of rules framed under the act. So section 12B also holds an important place if we talk about just from the colleges, right, to the colleges under section 12B. Correct? This makes the colleges eligible for central assistance from the government of India or any organization receiving funds from the central government. So these things are really important, as I tell you. So you can jot and pause your screen down and jot or write these things or these pointers down. Second statement said that yes, deemed to be universities declared by a notification by the central government on the advice of the UGC under section 3. So previously we were talking about section 2F, correct? Now we are talking about section 3 of the UGC Act. Application of the Act to institutions for higher learning other than the universities, right? They are there. The central government may, on the advice of the commission, that is the UGC commission, declared by the notification in the official gazette that any institution for higher education other than a university. So a university is there, but other than a university, that is an institution which is related to the higher education sphere, which may be, asked by the UGC on the advice of the UGC in the Act, shall be deemed to be a university for the purposes of this Act. That is why under section 3, deemed to be university, yes, on the advice of UGC, a higher educational institution is given the status of a deemed to be university by passing the Act, right? And on such a declaration being made, all the provisions of this Act shall apply to such institution as if it were a university within the meaning of clause F of section 2. So basically anything which is related to section 2F that we have previously talked about in the statement 1, that will be there, but these institutions will be given a different status than the main universities. Hence they are given the title deemed to be universities, right? So you can make your own notes while watching these videos, which I put really much and more emphasis on. Even if you are not appearing for this cycle, even if you are appearing for the June cycle as well, you all should be prepared and not missing out on anything, because the entire purpose is to learn and to have the knowledge to crack the examination, correct? So I will be moving forward with certain more things which are related to higher education in the new upcoming video, right? Till then, you all please keep on studying and comment down below if you know anything, if you if you have any doubts. If you have, as I told you, tell me which was the book which was written by Panini, because some of you all will be watching the video later on, right? So I want you all to comment down below and let me know, and I will for sure reply. And if there are any doubts, you can also comment those doubts below so that I can reply and get in touch with you all to make things clear. I will see you again. Till then, keep on smiling, keep on studying. Thank you so much.